Hello and a warm welcome back to the WenDirk cast, your go-to weekly podcast concerning all things Metaverse Football League. As always, we're your hosts Jimbo and Calvinator, and we're going to be discussing the latest MFL updates, transfers, developments, and so much more that has gone on over the last week or so. One important note before we get started, always got to get it out there. None of what we chat out is financial advice. Do your own scouting or hire a director of Metaverse Football. Hello, Calva. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing great, and I'm very excited because we have another manager spotlight. We had one, I think, a couple, like 5-6 episodes ago, and of course we had Matt on, but yeah, that's more talking about the team. So it's really cool to hear again from another manager, and today we also have someone who knows a lot about the Web3 football space he knows a bit more about other projects, other games, so it would be really cool to talk about him. So welcome to the show, Samooves, or Sam.
Hi guys, how's it going?
Welcome.
Nice to see you.
Yeah. No, it's really fun, and it's kind of how it's quite spontaneous because you joined our stream, right? Well, I already left, but you joined Jimbo's stream.
Yeah, I harassed Jimbo.
Oh, harassed him even? Okay.
What's up?
And then but maybe Jimbo, you can tell you kind of chatted and...
Yeah.
Yes.
We streamed on Wednesday and Thursday, and then Sam
Was a bit direct.
It was. I think,
hey, what's up? Let's collab.
It was literally like, hey, want to collab? And I think I was just chilling. And I was like, yeah, like you want to come on the podcast, that sort of thing. You know, that's nice and easy. And then dropped a message, and he's kindly given up his Sunday evening to come into the WenDirk studios. But like I said, Calvin, I'm super interested to have that conversation later on, meet the manager in a bit more, and put him under the spotlight and ask him all those sort of questions about himself and MFL and other Web3 games as well.
Yeah, that's later on. First, of course, we'll do the updates, and maybe before we start with the updates about the stream. So we did some streams in the past week, the end of the season, the Breakaway, and the Cup, of course, the Breakaway Cup. And on Monday is the plan. So tomorrow, or actually today when this episode comes out, we are planning to stream the first
maybe
day
even right now.
Or maybe even right now when you're listening. We are streaming the start of the community clash. So we are part of the Dirk Devils, and Sam, you're part of Val2 Plays. What's the name of your alliance? Do you know?
That's right. He's the one who also referred me to play MFL.
Okay, so you'll be in his alliance. Maybe we'll play against each other. Who knows?
Yeah.
We have a French-Italian alliance.
Great. we have just Dirk Devils. That's our. I don't know if we're all devils, but we're all Dirk Devils. Little Halloween theme going on, but yeah, we'll be streaming that tournament also a little bit. Hopefully, we get far, and we can stream a bit more. So stay tuned for that. Let's start with the updates. So we always ask everyone about their MFL moment of the week. So Jimbo, what would be your MFL moment of the week?
MFL moment. I'll lead up to mine. So on that final league and cup day on Thursday, the Wyverns were in a cup final, and they were also top of their league by 3 points. So I just had to not lose, basically. And I secured it, or if I lost, I had to hope the other results went my way. The cup final, I scored in the 85th minute to make it 1-0. Fourth official puts up 2 minutes added time, concede in the 92nd minute, 1-0. I was devastated. And then...
Man United style.
Yeah, Man United style, yeah, of course. And then... Second, extra time, just got whitewashed 3-1. Probably on stats deservedly lost, but it's just a heartbreak to go that close. And then 2 hours later, the Wyverns playing their final game of the season. Just had to draw at a minimum to win the league. And we lost. I think we lost by 1 goal. 3-2, I think it was, 3-2. So I lost, and second place won. But thankfully, due to scoring 1 more goal than second place did, I won the league on goals scored. Because we had the exact same goal difference, but I scored 26 goals this season and he scored 25.
Wow.
Therefore, the Wyverns won their Breakaway League. So I think I don't want to go down that route again because my heart and my stress and emotional levels cannot take another butt clench like that ever again. It was too much.
So you had some bad luck, like just before the end, it went like the other way, kind of in the cup, and now with the league, it just went your way.
Yeah,
so, like,
it just went my way. Yeah, I got a bit nervous, and I was figuring out: do I need to go to yellow cards? Do I need to go to goals against? But fortunately, we scored one more goal, so the Wyverns took home the cup for the Breakaway.
The league.
The league, sorry, the cup. No, sorry, I've got PTSD. I wish it was Wenson Wyverns.
Wenson Wyverns.
Yeah.
What about you, Sam? Did you have any success in the Breakaway, or how did it go?
I did actually. I mean, I'm quite low in the Breakaway. I just started, right? So my team is around like, I don't know what it's called, but the rating is like 680.
Yeah, the overall.
So I have a bunch
overall,
of it's like players over 60, not below 59 or 60. Like they all have a starting digit with 6, right? So
yeah.
I did quite well with my club, which is Paella FC, since the location was Spain. And I thought, what did I remember of Spain? And the paella, the dish, right? So that's what I called it. And I actually became first in my league, Breakaway League.
Nice.
I won. It was, I think, League 138, 39. It was quite low, but I still won. So that was quite cool for my first MFL experience because I'm quite new to everything. In the cup, I lost in the round of 16. And in this live competition that we had like 2-3 days ago, or yesterday, I think, 2 days ago, the one which is live.
The rapid play, you mean?
The rapid play, that's the word.
Yeah.
In that one, I lost my first match. But playing MFL, like you said, Jim, is like very stressful. I did not think it would be, but I was like,
it gets you. You feel connected. Maybe sometimes a bit too much, like for a game.
It can get very stressful.
No, and then because often in the engine you see that once you go to the byline, you know a tackle is gonna come in, right? And then it goes to a corner. That's often what I'm seeing, right? So I always see I'm on the offensive or the other one is on the offensive. The defender tackles, it goes to a corner, and then there's all these corners happening. Like, oh god, like it's 1-1, 90th minute. Like, please no, or please yes.
You could just see it happening.
Like PTSD. Jesus.
Yeah. When we were on stream, there were loads of corners too.
Yeah.
But actually, you shouldn't sell yourself too short because the leagues are like based on average. So you're with teams that are like almost exactly the same average as your team. So if you end first, it means you're a great manager. Like you can get the most out of that squad. So I think it's
okay.
if you're champion in a breakaway, I think that says way more than if you're champion in Stone League or Iron League, because there you can just stack it. So,
okay, then it's a great start, I guess.
Yeah, so I think it's a really great start. Yeah, great job. And
maybe
Jim
all the
also
football manager years are paying off.
Yeah, I guess so.
We'll ask you again in a month's time when season 1 starts.
Yeah, although in the league again it will be different. But
yeah.
Yes, of course.
Anyway, yeah, but I have 8 clubs, so I feel like it counts less that I was champion with one.
8 clubs.
Yes. Well, actually 9, but now I temporarily gave one away to another member in our alliance. So he has also a 750 club. So now I'm down to 8 for 1 week. But I was also champion with CD Ganaderos, which was nice, which I did not expect. I even found out like the day later. Because it was certain they wouldn't be champion, but one lost, I still won. So that was also a great little story, but less, I think, impressive than your wins both.
No, but crazy, you have 8 clubs. You must be managing. Like it's quite time intensive, no?
Yes, yeah. Well, I'm really
that does it for you.
I'm really stressing out for season 1. But we always compare to some other guys who have like 20 clubs. There's
39.
one with 40 clubs.
39.
Oh,
I think
Make Fink has 39 clubs, so it can be
crazy.
I really wonder how he's gonna cope with season 1.
Holy, wow.
Yes.
That's a lot. Every match day, wow.
Yeah, there are some tricks I think he uses. Like to have always an A team and a B team, so you just have to swap them every time, every day. Do like 39 swaps.
Getting some value from the seasoned veterans. That's good. I'll keep it in mind.
Great. All right, let's move on to dev updates. So what was happening this week? What did the dev team do? So of course they're very busy with season 1 preparation, working very hard on that. And they also recommend that you read, let's say, about all these new features on the blog. Lucas has made a couple of amazing blog posts in detail. I know not everyone is a big fan of reading in our community, but it's really worth it to know very well the details of all the new features. Contract, so there was also announced a lot of changes there. The development is complete, but some things they were planning, they have been postponed. Others have been already implemented, although they might adjust it. So what are the main key updates that will go live for season 1 is there's an expiration date of your contract offer. So you can say maybe it's only valid for 1 day or 2 days. You can also put a clause in your contract for a minimum number of appearances. And then if that is met, the rev share gets less for the club owner, for example, and multi-season contracts. So what has been postponed is a confirmation by the club and counter offers that might be for season 2. Then about the development center, the backend is complete for that, and the team is now working on the user interface. The rapid play, there were no issues on Wednesday. All the bugs have been fixed. It ran very smoothly. And at one moment, there were 100 matches being played at the same time. So that is pretty crazy. Then the engine, the team is still working on the balance of the engine for season 1. They're testing a lot of that. The referees, so it's finished, but there's no ETA. So hopefully before season 1, we see one extra little dot walking around the pitch, which is the ref. Some improvements, goalkeeper behavior has been approved also. Player behavior with a wider play, one-on-ones should be a bit more realistic. And also some visual bugs that sometimes the ball was, let's say, it seemed outside and it still went on. That has been fixed. And finally, player progression. This is a very, very crucial thing that shouldn't go wrong. So some extra safeguards have been implemented and more tests planned that really nothing will go wrong and your players will progress properly. Jimbo, any reactions to those things? Referees most excited?
I think I'm gonna mention a development happened this week, but wasn't one that wasn't included in that. It is this whole debate about the rewards that got announced on Thursday. I think as further we get from that announcement that happened on Thursday, the more discussion there seems to be about the reward structure. And I think some of the conversation seems to be focused around how the rewards for being promoted and then getting into a higher division towards a lower end don't seem as generous, I think is probably the phrase some people have been looking at it. And obviously we found out that the reward will be roughly about is it a 5.2 times increase?
Yes.
So yeah, I don't know what any of your thoughts are on that reward or any of the debate that's been going on about that structure.
Yeah, so the debate is like some people think it's not worth being promoted because then you face tougher opposition, and if you end 7th spot, let's say in gold, it's worth more to end 3rd or 2nd in silver. So why would you then promote? That is, I think. Yeah. Is there really an incentive to promote?
Yeah, the crux of it, you might as well stay 3rd or 4th each season.
I tend to kind of agree with that. I tend to think it should be a bit more like if you promote, it's always kind of rewarding. And it will be hard to go then for the top. So I kind of feel that argument. On the other hand, you might get more progression out of your players, and that might be a good incentive to still promote, and the value of your club increases. But if many people feel it's not worth promoting, we get a very weird league. We get like very weird gameplay. Like suddenly people lining up like super bad squads to lose on purpose.
To lose on purpose, yeah.
And that's not really the spirit of sportsmanship. So.
No, exactly.
Yes,
we'll have to see how that plans out, though. It'll be interesting. But it's nice to see it's quite a decent lift of
yeah, and the reward that's the increase that is very good. So also read, by the way, about that, like in the blog they really describe this decision. so that they want to be deflationary, right, to keep the supply of players kind of good and that the price of players doesn't decrease. But MFL will always take some cut kind of it to have still a revenue going, which makes sense. But players who are doing above expectations will always create value for themselves. But players who are very bad might have to keep getting packs and players to stay alive, which is fair, I think. I don't know what... Sam, you are part of other projects. It's always hard about kind of the economics and getting value out of those things. I don't know, do you have an opinion about that, or what do you think is a good project?
I'm in like 3 other projects, so that I started quite recently. So Futium, Score Rush, and Stocks FC now a bit longer. And I've noticed in all the communities, there's always this debate of the online economy on how to apply the share burn of like make it not inflationary. It's always a difficult thing to get right, especially because all these games are, I mean, quite new in the sense of it's all happening right now. Web3, it's all a new thing, right? So obviously it's not going to be perfect, but there's always a lot of passion from the community, which means that people do care, even if it's negative or positive, doesn't matter. But I've noticed that it's a very important thing for all the communities that I'm a part of. It's always important, what's going to happen with the in-game currency. Is it going to stabilize, or is this just going to be like some crypto, volatile thing? So it's always important for people. Let's just say that.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's very hard to get it right, hard to please everyone.
And pleasing everyone, that's impossible.
It's impossible, I think, indeed. Yeah, and you can also get it very wrong, and then I think your whole thing explodes. So it's very...
That's also possible. Like, what was the thing called? Football Index?
Oh, yeah, Football Index. That
one went poof. I wasn't a part of it, but it went poof. Like it literally exploded.
there's still. I think it was based in England. I think, and there's still to this day people like suing them for it basically.
I think they haven't received their money back.
Yeah, there was something a couple of weeks ago about some case or something. Or there's still developments going on about how that all went completely downhill very quickly, and people are unhappy about how it went down essentially.
Yeah, they were like changing the rules, then creating more supply. Like it was just it was a crazy drama. All this. That's what I know. I wasn't a part of it, but that's what people have been saying.
Love drama.
Drama, great.
Yeah. No, well, hopefully all projects also learn from that, and that's just a space. That's how it works, and never take.
Web3. It's like.
Yeah, some non-financial advice, but never take too much risk, guys. So
non-financial advice, guys.
Put what you can lose, right? By use.
Yeah. I always tend to think of it if you've invested in something or you've bought something and you're immediately like worrying about the amount of money you've just parted with, you've done too much.
Yeah.
If you've done too much, if you're instantly worrying about it and go, oh my god, how do I get that back? You've done too much. Like, you shouldn't be able to. You should be able to do something and not really care about it. If someone handed you that money right now in person. Would you rather take that or, But yeah, we can't dive too much into
the money is gone. Like that's the safe thing.
Yeah, exactly.
If you get your money back, then you can play with some house money. I don't know, get your initial out. But as long as you start and you put some money, I mean, you have to start somewhere. I mean,
exactly.
It's a risk.
Yeah. Exactly. And the golden rule, I think, that a lot of also MFL users apply is treat it as a hobby, right? Treat it as a football manager, but then a bit different where you always, or you buy a new copy, or you buy DLCs of some game, but treat it a bit more as a hobby, as a game, and not as some investment. But again, non-financial advice.
Yeah, non-financial advice.
Let's move on. Let's move on to the season updates, because the Breakaway League ended, the Breakaway Cup ended, Alpha Champions 1 ended, all the competitive metaverse football ended, and the next matches will all be in season 1. So those were the last kind of alpha games. So if we look at Breakaway League 1, Joe B with OM Legends won this league.
Huge.
Great achievement from him. Later, well, in a couple minutes, we can maybe discuss how that last match day went. I also put some match of the week there. It was really exciting. Then Breakaway Cup 1. BFC Barcelona beat Joga Bonito from Surge. We were commentating that live. Great victory for Bolles there. And then Alpha Champions, Joga Bonito got their revenge because they won this 5-1 Toros de Madrid. They beat them. And so Sturge got another silver license from England, I believe, was the prize for that. So that's a pretty massive prize.
I think it was Birmingham, though, wasn't it? Was it Birmingham?
Could be.
I know it was. If you're an English person, you're going, I wouldn't want to go there for a location, that sort of
thing. So people would prefer the Argentina silver than.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, a huge congrats to Joe B on winning the Breakaway League 1. I think we said it last week, of all the leagues you want to win, out of all the Alpha seasons we've had, it's the one just before Season 1. Carry that momentum into Season 1 and go forward.
How much was the prize pool for first place?
Ooh, that's a cracking question.
We can look it up. Maybe, Jimbo,
I was in the Breakaway, like I said, League 139. I got 600 Play MFL. I know it's going to increase, but just to compare, like 139 versus 1.
Yeah. It's also worth bearing in mind that there was a reduced rewards for this Breakaway compared to other Alpha seasons as well, because it was sort of seen as like a mini season. So
and you had the wheel for like another wave.
Yeah, you had the wheel for it. So the Joe B for winning got 45,000 MFL. Which I think I don't know. I think compared to other seasons, that is quite considerably less for that like top league. But like I said, congrats to him. I think also Sturge with Yoga Bonito, losing the Breakaway Cup final, but then winning the Alpha Champions final, and reasonably holding his ground within that top league as well is very, very respectable. I think the interesting one is BFC Barcelona, who clearly. Ballers, B-sellers probably went, well, we're not going to get much out of the league, so let's just, rotate for the league and then just try and win the cup, which obviously they won the Breakaway Cup 3-1, and kind of a disappointing result, even if you are, say, rotating for the cup. You thought you still, at that caliber of squad and that strength squad, you still get more than one win throughout the whole season. But yeah, it's very competitive top league. That was very competitive.
Yeah, and I want to talk as like kind of match of the week about this last match day, because anything could still happen. 3 teams could still become champion on the last match day. So OM Legends was playing Club Atletico Tango. They both had 24 points, and Meta Mercenaries was just below them with 22 points. So if there was a draw and then Meta Mercenaries won, they could have still become champion actually on goal difference. It would have been the case. Also, then if Big Wilbert with Tango won, they would have been champion. And if Joe B won, he would have been champion. So it could have gone either way. Meta won, but also Joe B won with Marseille 3-0, pretty decisive victory. 2 XG versus 0.7 XG. So I would say very well deserved based on that last match day performance, and really fun to always have these last match days where anything can happen to watch what was going on. Sam, are you you're playing in more the lower levels? Of course, we are also mostly playing there, but do you
have 20
look at those but do you look at those top teams, or do you have a favorite? Well, are you with Joe B in this alliance, or was it another alliance?
Honestly, I've started playing MFL 1.5 months ago. So for now, I've only just focused on how the game works. I won my league, my 139 league. I was really happy about that. I know some of the teams in my league, but I have not yet looked at the OGs of Play MFL. But after this podcast, I will for sure now look up and see what everyone is doing, how the top Gs are doing this.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, we also like to create kind of a buzz, with the Premier League, you'll want to know how Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, and how they are doing. And we try to create a little bit of an excitement, a buzz about the Diamond League, to always report on it a little bit. So to be continued, but really great. OM Legends won this one. So maybe going into Season 1, We can see a massive fight between them. Met the Mercenaries, who is the record holder. Ballers who also won. Tango also won. So it will be a great fight as season 1.
One quick shout out before I let you do and start the market moves, Calver. Dirk, end of season. Let me just tell you how Dirk did this season. Dirk Klaassen, obviously with DFC Amsterdam Lions, 6 goals. The most goals he's ever had in all of the Alpha seasons. 3 assists, 3 yellow cards, and 1 red card. His first season with getting a red card as well, but with a 7.5 rating. So he's never gone above 7.6. His last 5 seasons, 7.5, 7.6, 7.6, 7.6, 7.5. Hopefully season 1 we start seeing him go up a bit.
But
more.
He's also now the leader of the Amsterdam team.
He is.
Is he one of the players from the Amsterdam team?
Yeah, from Dio's BFC Dutch Lions of the DFC Dutch Lions, something
Amsterdam
like
Lions.
What's his rating?
His rating is 92.
92?
Yeah.
Oh, could be higher.
Let's move on. Market moves. So I'm going to shout out some new guys, new managers who joined MFL this week. Koen Free, Dodgeman, Nicholas, Pamphleteer, Level 1, Mila, Stefan 1205, Asherino, Peme, and Quinny. What's really cool to see is that we got some users from Romania, Sweden, Norway, so also a bit more Scandinavian market. Some users are joining from there. And as new user of the week, I put Mila buying a lot of players, and also as a little joke, like, are there girls here? That's me, right? Or like, mom, come pick me up there.
Are there girls, actually?
Yeah, that's the question. If I look at my YouTube audience, it's like 99%.
Yeah.
And I think that 1% is just my girlfriend watching my videos.
Actually, now it's 2%. My girlfriend will also watch.
Okay, great. I extended my audience, but I don't know if Mila, Tiger Mila, I think that's the name now. So new user of the week buying ton of new players. Then market moves, common, uncommon. I put Zoetert, who's part of our alliance, and this week he bought his first 3 uncommons, getting a bit more serious. Good to see. Rare players, Lero really went on like a spending spree. What do we call it? Shopping spree.
Yeah, shopping spree.
I would say, I don't know, we have a splash of the week for one guy, but this is like a combined splash because he bought 9 rares and 9 high uncommons. I think he spent in total more than 1,000 USD, almost 2,000 maybe, and all players from Colombia or the US, because he has a Colombian gold club and a bronze team from New York. So he's really going for those all kind of one nationality teams. Very good. Apart from the splash, which I won't say yet, there were no legendary sales, only 1. And then about clubs, I put a tale of 2 clubs. Kind of interesting. So SY bought a stone club from Turin for 115 USD. So he spent way more than the floor because of the location, probably Turin. So kind of where Juventus is from, right? And then bronze Yaoundé was sold for 100 USD, so $15 less for 2 division higher team. Yaoundé from Cameroon, so maybe the location plays a role here. And Verblender bought that team. So location does matter also a lot for clubs. Over to you for
Splash of the week. I apologise, my voice is hella ropey from coming back from a football game a couple of hours ago. But this week's Splash of the Week, the legendary Josset purchasing Cesar Carlos, 85 rated for $400. A nice little 20-year-old, 3 positions, primary cam, right mid and centre mid from Portugal, with some highlight stats being 84 shooting, 84 passing and 87 dribbling. So congrats to Josset for being this week's Splash of the Week.
Yes, great player, great cam. Only thing, I see 42 physical. That's a bit painful always for me. I would spend so much money on a legendary.
It's like Neymar.
Yeah, it's a bit like Neymar. Yeah, I think great comparison.
Let's hope he won't get injured.
Yeah.
Well, there's no injuries yet.
When injuries.
When injuries.
When injuries come.
When ACL, yeah.
You gotta go to the gym a lot.
Yeah, I really I think if I would spend so much money and I see that physical, I would be like, would I do that? But okay, great sale. Then we're almost there, almost finishing the updates. First, a little IRL MFL, like some matches that happened in all competitions everywhere. Did we see some interesting moments? Maybe I can start.
Go on then, Calvin.
I'll ask you, Jimbo, and Sam if they saw something. So I, of course, follow the Dutch league a lot as a Dutchman. And I saw there were two crazy own goals. Maybe you should check them. One was scored by in the game Twente versus Heracles. The defender didn't look where his goalie was. He just passed the ball to the back straight into his own goal. And also Bakuna, who plays now for Groningen, Leandro Bakuna, he also tried to clear a ball and kind of hit it straight into his own goal. Also very unfortunate. And I think if this happens in 2D and you see your center back passing it back into your own goal, you would go nuts. Yeah. Say the game is rigged, engine is broken. But it happens IRL. It happens in real football. You have those own goals that are crazy clumsy, that are just, and those, it can happen. That's just the thing. Yeah. It's football.
And like Matt said last week, with the volume of games MFL plays, it will happen more often than it does in real life because of the amount. So, it's not, the possibility is not zero. It's just very, very low, but it will happen more often because of the amount of games that are being played.
Have there been own goals yet on Play MFL?
Yes.
Well, you've clearly not experienced one. Then you'll know when you've scored an own goal.
Yeah, because I've played like one season, cups and everything. So far, no own goals.
Oh, wow. Well, maybe I think you've just got lucky. Maybe you've had some good luck. You will witness an own goal. You'll get one day.
Right. Thanks for the warning.
Yeah.
You'll see when they're scored, the ball like behind their name is like colored red. So it's like a red ball, and then
Yeah, red is never a good color in these situations.
No.
I always hope for like a green. If it's red, it's not a good sign.
So, Jimbo, you went to Norwich,
Middlesbrough. That's why my voice is kind of croaky.
Who won?
It was a draw. It was 3-3. But this is why it gets kind of interesting.
Game.
We always, tag us, sometimes post in the Discord about the goals or the final result and then what the XG and the stats were and how it doesn't sometimes quite add up. Like one team was clearly scammed of a victory of some sort. Norwich went 1-0 up thanks to a Borja Sainz goal, and his goal catalogue is unbelievable this season. If we get a chance, Borja Sainz, the Spaniard, born within the Basque region, which is kind of a risk for the transfer window, could go to Bilbao. His goal catalogue is unbelievable. We went 1-0 up. We then conceded 3 goals before the half time, and I went, oh man, we're done for. We are done for. Like 3-1 at home. And then 65th minute, we conceded a penalty. And I went, oh no, we're done for. Keeper saves it. Keeper saves the pen. We score 3-4 minutes later, another Borja banger. And then keeper scores an own goal in like the 82nd minute. But I was looking at the stats, so it ended 3-3. Middlesbrough XG 3.25. Obviously, quite amount of that being the penalty of about 0.76. Norwich scored 3 goals, 0.68 XG. Because one was an own goal and 2 were bangers from the edge of the box. So I just, we had 3 shots on target and we scored 3 goals, although one of them was an own goal. The cross came in from the right, it hit the player's arm, it deflects, and the keeper just pushes it into his own net. But that's why my voice is a bit croaky, because it's probably the best atmosphere I've seen at the ground for a consistent amount of time, like 20 minutes of just absolute nutcase shouting. But it was great. But if you get a chance, my final takeaway, Borja Sainz, his goal catalogue this season, unbelievable. Go check him out.
Hey, great efficiency.
Yeah, exactly.
And XG and MFL can be realistic like this, 3-3 with those.
It happens. But unless you see the context of the goals, if you just look at the stats, it sometimes can be a bit misleading.
Yes. Sam, what about you? Are you a fan of some club? Did you watch games this weekend?
Yeah, I watch games every weekend. like
Good
most
man.
of us. So
Yeah, but are you like a particular club that you always watch, for example, or?
yeah, so not only do I play football games on my computer, I also watch football games. My favorite club is Bayern, actually.
Ooh.
And you had 5-0, right?
Yeah,
Against
5-0 against Bochum. We thoroughly needed that after we got lumped in Barcelona, basically.
Yeah.
Thoroughly deserved 4-1 loss. I accepted on the chin. We accepted, but it was a nice comeback from that to, let's just say, bounce back. 5-0, Olise scored, I think Kane scored, Musiala scored as well, Sané scored, and then
Kingsley
someone else. But
Coman.
it was a thoroughly like one. Oh, Coman. Oh, yeah, great goal from Coman. Like a curler
Yeah.
inside of the foot. Goalkeeper touches it, goes off the bar, and in. It was a great long
Nice one.
shot,
Yeah.
great finesse, and yeah, thoroughly one-sided game. Yeah, good. I watched it. I didn't scream. I didn't lose my voice like Jim. I was composed for a while. So yeah, was a good weekend. Just
Yeah.
a good game.
I mean, 0-5, you can kind of lean back, like kind of those
Yeah.
matches. I think Jimbo had to shout.
I'm
Norwich
on my
to
feet the whole
forward.
time, and the ref was awful
Yeah.
as well. I was effing and blinding at the referee, giving him like I won't get into English refs. Some of them are absolute pants, man. Some of them are pants. But let's move on to our top 3 beer. I think.
Yeah. Let's do the top 3. So, short explainer. Every time we have a guest, we ask them to change a beer in our community top 3. So the current beer ranking, they're all very obscure, but just feel free to Sam to kick one out of there. So number 1 is Brooklyn IPA, put in last week by Matt. Then second is Fada, a beer from Marseille, by Bastis. He put it in there, and Jimbo is still, his beer is still here. Neck Oil,
Still at
Beavertown, on the 3rd place. So Sam, one of those you can replace with one of your favorite beer. Well, you are kind of Munich, so this should be a good German beer there.
Okay, so I just remove one and then put my
Yes,
favorite
yeah,
beer in. Or,
and then your favorite, maybe
any spot you
Paulaner.
want.
I like Paulaner a lot.
okay, so
like this.
I'm actually this is gonna sound horrible. Like I said, German, everything like that, but I feel Italian. I am Italian, right? So I don't drink that much beer.
Okay.
But the beer I do drink is a light beer, so it's not so strong. I prefer cocktails and all, but
Okay.
if I drink a beer, it's like a Radler. It's beer with
Radler,
lemon.
yeah. I know Radler, yeah. Yeah, and any brand then, or just any Radler, just kind of type of beer? Or
Just
do you have
any
a favorite
Radler.
brand? Any
Yes.
Radler.
If it has like 2% alcohol, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
too
we can
bitter
put-
for me.
we can.
I'm very weak with beer, right? I'm always in the toilet, like it's really bad.
Okay.
I went to Oktoberfest. I drink it there once a year, get hammered, but then that's it. Radler is the way for me, or cocktails.
Okay, great. Now we can put Radler in there as just like a different kind of beer.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
would
try something
you?
new.
Yeah, and then which place would you put it? Like 1, 2, 3.
I guess at 1 for me. So
Whoa.
Okay, great.
My neck oil survives another round at third.
It's a safe spot.
It is.
Number
it is.
3 is safe. So we'll put a Radler there.
let's go.
Yeah. At number 1, then
Perfect.
2 is still Fada, Besties, and Neck Oil from Jimbo is still number 3. All right, so those were all the updates. Of course, we already did. We got to know Sam already a bit better, but now it's really time to put you in the spotlight. So first of all, what is your MFL story? How did you find out about it, and what attracts you to the project?
So my journey started in October 2021, actually, and I think for most people it started with the game Sorare. So I started with Sorare. I played for like a good year and a half. It started off well. It was fun, but I felt after a while it was not sustainable, and like most people, I quit after like a year and a half, and I quit at a loss, of course, like most people. Even Nepenthes, he's like in a big loss right now. So it's like, it's a
No,
bit
don't even.
complicated, right?
Yeah.
But I won't get into it too much.
Mm.
So I moved on from Sorare. Then I tried Royalties, which is a stock game from France. Tried that for a while, didn't enjoy it too much. The customer service wasn't too great. So after a couple of months, I moved on from that. And then I found Stocks FC. And throughout all of this, right, I was in contact with Val to Play from France. He was the one actually that I met through Sorare. And we've been constantly like referring each other to different games. So I introduced him to Stocks FC, right? He introduced me to Royalties, and then he also introduced me to Play MFL 1 month ago. And since I knew him, I was like, let me use his link, support him. We've always been like helping each other in a way. And I started Play MFL 1 month ago. He explained to me how it works. And that's how basically I started my Play MFL journey 1 month ago.
So you had like loads of different projects, and with Val, you kind of made your way to MFL. And he kind of told you, he sold you on it. He said, "Oh yeah, it's a great game. Check it out."
Actually, throughout playing Sora, right? He started quite early. I think he started 1.5 years ago. I always saw Play MFL in the background, but I never really looked into it. I was like, okay, I'm playing Sora. I'm just gonna focus on this. There's all these games happening. I can't focus on all of them. But after a while, I moved on from Sora, right? And then I'm still playing Stocks FC, and it's a more like passive game. And I was looking for something that's a bit more, tactic. You can change your players. That every day you have to do something, right? And that's when I asked him. I watched his videos and I asked him like, how is it? How does it work? And then he explained me everything. And he didn't really have to sell me on anything. I just wanted to try it out, which is actually a good thing. If you don't have to sell someone on a game, it speaks for itself, right? So after that, I just joined. And then, like I said, it's my first season here, did the breakaway, spanned the wheel a couple of times, and that's it. Now I'm part of the community and on the podcast here.
Did the wheel give you any treats, or was it a bit harsh?
Oh yeah, so I span a couple of times, like I think 15 to 20 times throughout the wins, and I went to mystery box a couple of times, and I thought, okay, it's just gonna give me like 100 MFL points probably, and then it actually gave me a starter pack, so I was surprised about
neat.
that. So a starter pack, I mean, not a rare player, not uncommon, but still a starter pack, and then I
Nice.
got a 61 rated player and then a 44 rated player.
Oh,
But
I watched your video on it. Yeah, I watched your video on it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and then the 61 rated player actually can go right in my team, and or I loan him out. I don't know, and he's young,
Yeah.
so that was cool. I was like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Did you guys win
definitely-
anything?
Yeah. Well, Jimbo had a pretty nice
I had
on
a
stream spins, I would say.
I saved all my spins for the stream on Wednesday. I think I had 41 spins.
Oh yeah, I saw you guys. You guys had like 40, 50 like, spins. Like,
Yeah.
I thought, what happened here?
We said we'd save them all and then do them all in a stream and just lump them all at once. So I think I ended up I got the 5,000 MFL, which I think was a 0.25% chance, which I was very lucky with. And across all my spins, about 45 in the end, I think I got about 8,800 MFL, which I combined that with 3,000 from the previous seasons I'd kept over, and I got myself an uncommon player, which was the uncommon player pack, which was quite nice. Ended up being a 68 rated centre mid, I think. So I'll take that all day long. 0.25% chance of 5,000. I'm taking that all day long.
Yeah, that was, and I on that same day got lucky with a kickoff pack. So a bit like you had a starter pack, kickoff pack. It's also 2 players with, I think it's pretty much the same, but then cheaper, I think.
Yeah.
But I got a nice upgrade on common 68 left winger, and he was Italian. So Fra Gioco is buying all Italian players.
Has he
was
DM'd you?
He was sliding into my DM pretty much straight away, and I sold that guy for $35. So pretty
decent. What rating was he again?
68, but he was 19.
Okay.
So very young.
Yeah. Oh, great age, that sort of.
Great age. So I hope to kind of sell a couple guys and then buy a bit more quality for my gold
Yeah,
club. So
nice.
Is
saving
there a
money.
lot of trainers that just buy from one nationality?
There's quite a few people that like doing it. Yeah.
Couple
It doesn't
famous ones.
actually help your gameplay. It's just like a preference, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, not yet. In the future, we might see a little boost.
Yeah,
but
the
only
team
a
have said
little.
they'd like to do
Ah,
like a nationality boost, but there's no like confirmation on like when that's happening. It's more of like
all right.
yeah, at the moment it's a preference sort of thing. But it's quite nice when
Yeah.
someone has like an Italian team with all Italian players. It just looks nice on the UI to see all the same flag, everything like that. And
I bet that guy has OCD. He needs Italy,
Could be like compulsively buying Italians or
no matter the
Ukrainians we
price.
have, or we
Oh,
we
yeah.
have different agents, also English or American. There's like loads of.
Yeah,
I have one Argentinian squad, so
Oh, I
if
just
it's
buy
also-
anything.
they're
Yeah.
same mate, same. I do the same.
Yeah,
I don't discriminate. Like, please come over to me.
one world. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, I have maybe we can combine those two questions. So I had like what was like starting out as a new user and getting your first players and branch your club, like how was that? And then also maybe looking back, would you have done something like anything differently or not? And what tips would you give to new users? So maybe you can answer first like what was it joining as a new user? And then if you had a time machine and you could go back to that moment, would you start out differently?
Okay, so first thing I did is I harassed basically Val to play in the like texting him, sending him voice messages. Like I was really like going after him and asking him, okay, how does this work? How does that work? And after a couple of days, I was like, okay, I understand. You have to buy a license first, and then you can buy players. So I just bought a club license. I think that's what it's called from the store. And it landed, like I said, in Spain, in a town in Spain. I went to Spain. I had great food. Paella is a popular dish there. It's like rice with like all these fish ingredients in there. And then I thought, okay, I like food. I like eating food. I like Spain. Okay, let me Paella FC. That's the name. That's my club. So that's what I did. And then I just started browsing on the marketplace. I invested, I think, around $200 in total, like including the license, just to start off, basically. And I purchased players all above 60 rated, but below 64. So all commons, at least 60 rated. And I made sure that there were 2 players approximately on each position. And then after that, like 1 week after, the breakaway started, and then I won the league, which was great, and it was a lot of fun. And so far, this has been my experience in 1 month. And if I had to take a time machine to 1 month ago, I would not do anything different because I still don't know that much.
Okay.
I don't know.
Fair enough.
Maybe you bring me on the podcast again in 6 months.
Yeah.
Then I can
Yeah,
tell you, okay, I did that wrong. I did this correct.
It would be great. No, one thing, I also made a video about it, about like starting out differently on a budget. Like one thing is that you can also buy a club from the marketplace, of course. And right now the prices are a bit low, so you can even get stone or an iron for the same as ice. So
Okay.
I don't know if you realized that or if you're happy. Also, the pack opening is very cool, right? When you saw this world spinning,
the music,
Yes,
and so
the
it's
animation.
also worth that. But
Yes.
in terms of like value for money, some people can get stone for like 60 USD or get an iron for 80 USD. There is
Yeah.
now the bronze I just told you about in market moves 100 USD.
Right.
So maybe, but it's also cool to start out fresh with totally fresh, right? With that by AFC, and you can take it like Wrexham style from ice to I don't know where
That's the
you
plan.
want to go.
You
Yeah.
feel like you have a bit more of a connection to a club that you've unpacked compared to buying off the
Right.
marketplace. You're the first owner. You know, that feels special, especially as an NFT. You're the first owner. And you may, like me with my Wentz and Wyverns. Well, actually, I didn't pack them. No, I didn't pack them. That was a Norwich license, which I knew I had to get because it was the only Norwich license at the time.
Okay.
But like my second club from Spain as well, there's something about unpacking it and then you brand it and you make it your own and you build it up. and like, yeah, that's all me. This is my club, sort of thing.
Yeah, so actually, Val2Play told me that I can buy a club, Stone Division or higher, but I knew my budget was like $200. You know, it's in whatever. Like we said before, you put the money in and then you see what happens. That was my budget, and that's it. My aim was to start in the ice division or in the lowest division that exists. And like Jim said, a new club, right? So it's part of you. It's a new thing. It's a new name, new city. Sounds good. That was the goal.
Yeah, and also if you say that's my budget, there's no pressure that like in season 1 in Iron you could get relegated straight away. In Ice you cannot get relegated. You can only get promoted.
Can only go up from here.
Yeah, you can only go up. Yeah, exactly. So this is like a good safe start, and you have no pressure to buy because you see all those teams in Iron have high budgets.
Yeah, one club, Ice Division, just let's see.
Yeah, I think it's pretty chill, relaxed.
But I still stress during the games. Like I still stress.
Yeah.
Still stress. Yeah.
That doesn't change.
we all know that. Awesome.
Wait. For you,
yeah.
Calva.
Yeah.
You have 20 clubs, right?
No, eight. I have eight.
Oh, 8. Sorry.
Some others have 20 or 30 or 40. Yeah.
8 clubs. Does it get easier, like to watch the games? Like you have 8 games. Like relax,
Well, this is the thing. I don't know if this is a bad confession, but I barely watch them. I just check most results, and then sometimes, based on I see like 8 results. Of course, the Gold Club, the top tier, I'm a bit more like focused on. But often I just see the results, check the stats, and I don't rewatch them all. Maybe I check the goals sometimes. So
I don't think you would have a life if you watched all the matches.
Yeah, it would get a bit too much. So, but maybe now thinking about it, maybe quality is way better. That you just have one match, you watch that one match 10 minutes. You really get a bit more feel with your players, see what's happening, a bit more quality. So maybe I should scale down, but let's see how season 1 goes. But I might do that, like to scale down a little bit.
The bad thing about one club is like one match, and your whole emotions are gonna be based on that one match. So either you're really happy, or you get a draw, you're like, or if you lose and you're like getting relegated, then it's really bad.
Yeah. At least I have. There's always some win I can celebrate.
Yes.
From the 8, usually there's one win. Also, so I want to zoom out a little bit. So you told us about your journey and that you have been a part of many projects and you are still a part of some Web3 football projects. So how would you compare MFL to the other ones? Like, do you think in terms of gameplay, marketing, communication, MFL does some things better, or do you think other projects do something better and MFL could learn from them? What's your analysis there?
So, at least marketing-wise, what was the name of the owner or the co-founder that was on the podcast last week ago again?
Maturin. Maturin.
Okay, Maturin. He messaged me actually, and he asked me, why have you? Because I was starting to like look at other games as well from Sorare, and he asked me, why did you start Futium and not play MFL? And I mean, I don't remember if I told him or not, but at least marketing wise, for example, what Futium does really well is that they show you the prize pools. So at the end of the day, I know this is a game, we're playing it to, have a good time, right? But at the end of the day, you put money into this, and then ideally you could make some money from this. And so what I think Futium did really well is that they showed the prize pools for all the leagues. At least me personally, on my Twitter feed, I did not really see exactly the price pools for Play MFL. Maybe also because Play MFL is a different currency, so I couldn't connect it to anything. While Futium is like Ethereum, so I was like, okay, it's 1 Ethereum for this thing, it's 0.5 for that. Okay, it's approximately this amount of euros or pounds, whatever. So for Play MFL, because they have another currency, I did not really understand like how much could you win if you win a league, for example. So in that sense, Futium does, I think, one of the better jobs in Web3. And what Play MFL does really well on the other side is that it's a really fun game. It's like Football Manager. There's a very tight knit community. What I've noticed is that whenever I post something about Play MFL on my socials, it gets a lot of engagement. So people are really, really passionate about this project. So I think the community is great. Maybe there could be a little bit of an improvement on how to market the product, but it's a new game, and it's growing. So can only go up from here.
Yeah, like MFL, the currency is not tradable. You
Yeah.
cannot sell it. It's just really only in game.
Yeah.
And then you buy players which you could sell for USD.
That's why maybe it didn't
right?
connect on the marketing
but
side. Maybe to attract new users, they could do something with euro equivalent. I don't know, but yeah.
Yes. Now, of course, the conversion rate, there is like a conversion rate, and technically it works a bit like that, but
yeah, with the players,
it's harder, of course, and it's not so straightforward as Eve or like with Sorare or with Futium.
Yeah.
So but I think Matt also said like last week on the pod about marketing that he doesn't want to go too fast, too hard, right? That
course.
you and then slowly build it up, and then first kind of the Sorare people who are used to that, and then maybe when you have a bigger game, a bit more advanced, you can get for the FM guys, and you go a bit more
slow
aggressive.
And steady wins the race.
Exactly.
Yeah, they want to build the MFL as a product more before selling it out there. It was only 2 months ago, if that we had the 2D, the 22 match, 22 player visual. Beforehand, it was like a ping ball going around go around the screen, and we're still technically in the alpha season. So now we've got the full season coming up, and it's more of a fleshed and bulked out product. I think we'll see over the coming seasons and months and how long, we'll see more of a marketing push from MFL, because they've got more to communicate and engage and pull people in with in terms of like features and things like that.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that goes.
More flavor.
Yeah, more flavor, as I say.
More flavor.
Yeah.
More paella.
More paella. Exactly. So let's maybe talk a bit about season 1 also. So season 1 is like we can all three share some opinions, and I already said I'm a bit stressed with so many clubs. For you guys, it's a bit easier, but we know now a bit. Yeah, we know now a bit more about the contracts and a bit more about rewards and a bit more about player progression. So I don't know, Sam, if you kind of read about all those things, or how are you now going into season 1? How would you prepare? Do you have a strategy, a goal, a priority? Can you tell us more about that?
So honestly, looking at 1 month ago, maybe this is actually one thing I did well unknowingly, I guess, is that I purchased. I always I always tend to do this. I always buy young players. Like I said, the progression potential is only coming now, so I don't know what their potential is. But most of my club is like 23 and under in terms of age. So in terms of preparation, I allocated all of my investment or initial investment already. So I cannot really change much. Maybe I can sell some players if they improve after the progression starts. But right now, honestly, I'm just waiting for season 1 to start. And I'll go in with the players I have right now and then see what happens. And I can't get relegated, so that's good. It can only go up.
And you're also not tempted to go to scouting and maybe sign 1 or 2 like better guys, or you just really want to stick with like, those are the guys I have, this is my squad?
See, ideally, obviously, I would love to buy more players, but my budget, that's it right now.
No, but signing, right? So you only pay ref share.
You mean like loaning out?
Yeah, that you loan some guys.
For sure. Val2Play has many players that are like 60 rated or 70. Potentially, I will like sign 2-3 players from him. Hopefully, he gives me a good revenue share percentage. Maybe he can give like a friendly discount for me.
Doesn't put in like a really horrible clause in there that he's got to play like every single game or something like that.
Yeah, if you get promoted, pay me 1,000 and give me the whatever you want. So from him, I'll for sure sign some players.
Okay.
But I have 2 players for each position. already. So it will only be a couple of new players, I think. And then the rest, I'll just grind it out and have some fun and see what happens.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Do you guys, with so many clubs, do you guys like loan out do you guys take players in, or you guys just buy them and loan them out?
I'll kick off on this one, Calvert.
Yeah.
So I have 2 clubs, and I have quite a tight-knit agency where I think I only own about 60 players. And obviously the maximum squad size is about 25. I think with my second club, who play in Stone, the Esbar Tails, I think I'd say if it's a 25-man squad, I think about 19, 18 of those are my own players. Some of which maybe it's the rotation players, or I need a big striker up top or something like that. I'll loan them in. And the Wyverns, their strongest starting 11, I think about 5 of those are loaned in. So I know I need to do a bit of thinking about, do I go and purchase a player to bring in, or do I, get that player back, which I previously had for these seasons, and hopefully the current owner trusts me enough. Some managers have trusted me for like 7 seasons with the player. Obviously, there's no repercussion because no progression. It's just, but as long as I keep giving them a steady stream of MFL, they're happy, right? But now it's like, can I give them a steady stream of MFL plus develop their player to their standards? There's that added bit of pressure. But I'm hoping to maybe be like a 80% in-house, 20% bring in players, maybe something on those lines, hopefully.
Yeah, that for me. So I have 8 clubs, but I also have more than 350 players. So that got a bit out of hand. And I have 60 goalies. So someone already reached out to me like, "Oh, you're the goalkeeper guy, right? You have so many
You're like
goalies."
Raiola. You're like the agent Raiola.
I'm a bit like Raiola. Yeah. He's also Dutch, well, also Italian and Dutch. A lot of Dutch players.
Goalkeeper
Wow.
guy.
So I really need to kind of make a plan. But so far in all the alpha seasons, I've been loaning out tons of guys to pretty much everywhere. At the end usually when the end approaches, I just lower the ref share, set everything auto accept, make sure everyone kind of goes somewhere, plays somewhere. I think that's the most important. I care a bit less about the ref share, more about the progression for all those guys I loan out.
What's the general rule for ref share? Like 2%, 3%?
I guess 4. I would say 4, because if you do 100 divided by 25 is 4, right? So technically, if all are equal, it's 4.
Yeah.
A bit more quality, higher quality for that league would go for 5, 6. That's how I see it. And if it's lower than the average of the league, I do like 3, 2. But for the breakaway, I did a ton of guys for just 0.1 because I was like, whatever, just take my players. I want to help new guys. Just fill up your teams. There you go. Of course, for season 1, it's going to matter more. So I might. Although you can see a system where you just want your lower commons to play anyway. So maybe you don't want to earn MFL. Maybe you just go pure progression. And if it's like an 18-year-old 50 rated common, maybe I'll just do 0.1 for that. Or I stick them in the development center, right? And pay for it. So.
Question. I got like a development center 4-year common card from the mystery box.
4-year. Nice.
Yes.
4-year.
Yeah. So what you can do.
I got it before anyone told me what the hell this card is. So it's like you train the player for 4 seasons or what?
Yeah, you have to lock them. It's kind of staking.
Oh, yeah,
so you kind of lock them, stake, like for 4 seasons, you lock them in this development center. It's kind of a prison almost. You put them in there 4 years and they come out. But after 4 seasons, they should progress at 120%. So you get like a little buff, but you have to pay for it. But you got it for free because you want this free to use card.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good then.
So you can pick one common player. You send them for 4 years to development prison.
4 years, that's like 4 months, right?
Yeah, very long.
Yeah.
Wow. Then I put him in as a teenager. He comes out a man, like on steroids.
Yeah. He gets the facial hair and everything,
Even
in the deep voice and all that sort of stuff. Kids and everything.
Some testosterone injection. That's good.
It's like this movie sequence where someone goes on like this kind of whole journey, 4 years, comes back as a hero. And it's going to help your agency.
He's going on they're all going on their training arcs, basically.
Yeah. But in general, I think this might be a nice debate. Like, are you going to pay a little bit to stick them in there? Or are you going to almost give them out for free to ice clubs, and then they play, but you don't earn MFL. So
Yeah,
I think that
that's
might be a nice dilemma.
so what's better, loaning him out for 4 years or putting him in there?
Yeah, well, then you also have to pay for it. So
Yeah.
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
we have to see. It might be a nice Dirk dilemma. Speaking
Yeah.
of which, we might we have some dilemma in a question
I mean,
right
there must
now.
be some boosts from it, like.
Yeah, they get the 120%.
That's for
boost
4 years. Yeah.
For 4 years.
So you can put them in there for 1, 2, 3, or 4 seasons. Obviously, the longer you have them in there, the better the progression return is. But obviously, the dilemma is the opportunity cost is that you can't use those players and you can't then earn MFL from them playing, right? But you've almost got that consistent progression that they're going to be given. It's the decisions have to be made, which is quite nice. There's different ways to play and look at progression, and it's a question and a dilemma that every manager will be facing basically, which is interesting.
All right, thanks for enlightening me.
Yes. So about the dilemma, what I just said, like we have a good question from Frajoko, and we always ask our previous guests to ask a question to our next guest, and you can also ask a question after answering this one. So Frajoko asks, would you rather have a solid defensive team that struggles scoring goals, or the other way around? So have a very good offensive team, but then kind of a
concede
weak defense. Yeah. So what would you prefer?
So as a Bayern fan, the question, the answer is clear. I would rather score 5 goals and concede 2 than score no goals and maybe lose 1-0. So if it works well, congratulations, we beat everyone. If it doesn't, then yeah, we're kind of screwed. So offensively, that's my thing.
Okay.
Yeah, well, it's way more fun, right? Also,
It's more fun. I mean,
goals.
You're getting paid all these millions. Go risk it. Come on.
Yeah.
Have
Well,
some
I
fun.
get, yeah, definitely for well, they usually say this with Ajax also, right? You can this attacking play, and you right
You're
now
Ajax
Ajax
fan?
plays very. I'm not Ajax fan, more PSV, but right now Ajax is really playing almost like Italian coach, almost like Catenaccio, 1-0.
Really?
Very solid defense, but attacking is very poor. And they need Weghorst to save the day. So I'm with you. Yeah.
Great.
I'm with you on this offensive, way more fun to watch, way more satisfying. And sometimes you do concede or you get a counter attack or whatever.
What's your favorite team again?
PSV, Eindhoven.
Oh, PSV.
Yeah.
PSV.
Well, I'm from Eindhoven, so should be. So do you have a question for our next guest? Something you would like to ask?
Is it supposed to be Play MFL related, right?
It could be anything. It could be anything really.
Could be anything.
Maybe
Also,
it's like
maybe
football related. Something like that.
Okay. Would you rather have one club where you get promoted nearly every season, or would you rather have 2 clubs where you get promoted every other season? That's my question.
Okay, so would you rather have one club that is very successful, keeps promoting, or 2, but it is a bit more
or 2,
steady?
or I don't know, 3, 4, whatever, and
Yeah.
you're okay.
Yeah, you can say many clubs, but it's going a bit slower.
Sort of like yo-yo. The many clubs yo-yo, but the single club always does well. So we're coming to that point in the podcast where, to prove you've been listening and got this far, we like to announce the hashtag. And we've thought long and hard over this one. And if you remember back in the episode, we're talking about the development centres, and Calver referenced it. It's just like the players going in jail. So hashtag dev jail, not to be confused and misunderstood with Yax and Quinton going behind bars. They're not doing it, but the hashtag dev jail, development of the players, not of the developers at MFL. So hashtag dev jail on Twitter, on Discord. Remember to use it, push it everywhere. I just want to say massive thanks to Sam for Samooves for coming on the podcast this evening. It's been a really interesting conversation. You've provided a lot. Any final messages that you want to shout out and leave in our ears of our listeners?
Can I be honest?
You can be as honest as you want,
course.
as long as it's
Right, so it
sensible
was
and PG.
absolutely atrocious being here. I don't know
Oh
why I'm
my
on
word!
here.
Get him
I
off.
totally did not text Jim on Twitch to ask him to be here. I was forced, like a dev jail, like I'm in the development center right now.
The guest
I'm in
chair.
prison here, and I'm getting developed for now 4 years, and I want to get out. No, but joking aside, thanks for having me on. If you guys see Samooves, you can find me on Twitch with that. You can find me on YouTube with that. Samooves Web3 actually there, and then on X also Samooves. So I'm on most platforms. Just type in Samooves and you'll find something from me. So yeah, that's it. Thank you guys.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And without further ado, we'll round it up there. We'll be streaming a couple of times this week, so make sure if you've got free time in the evening, morning, night, wherever you may be, and what time it will be, for the community clash. Thank you all so very much for listening, and we'll see you this time next week for another episode of the WenDirk cast. Thank you for listening.